1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 20 through 21. O Timothy, guard what has been entrusted to you, avoiding worldly and empty chatter and the opposing arguments of what is falsely called knowledge, which some have professed and thus gone astray from the faith. Grace be with you. When it comes to all the treasures of knowledge, they are all found in Christ. And this is our beginning, our starting point, our worldview. If we understand that all things were created through Christ and for his pleasure, if we understand these things, it changes the way we look at everything. It's our starting point in our worldview. And if we start here, then we understand why we know things. Epistemology is the theory of knowledge, understanding how we know things and why we know things. And to be honest, if you're starting at an atheist starting point, there's no way we can know anything. Proverbs 1:7 tells us that the beginning of knowledge starts with the fear of God. So first, having a fear for God, understanding that we are created in God's image, we understand why we can understand truth. We understand why we can understand morality. Because let's be honest, monkeys, they don't have any kind of reason to believe in morality because they weren't created in the image of God. A monkey's never going to understand the composition of Saturn or Mars. They're never going to be able to explore the galaxies. They're never going to be able to explore the depths of the seas and understand these things because they weren't created to do these type of things. Everything in the world has a purpose. Ants do certain things, bees do certain things, birds, they do things, and they have a certain knowledge built in, and they know when to migrate and do certain things because they were given this knowledge inside of their genomes, inside of their DNA. They have this information, so they are able to do these things because they are created to do these things. And this is the same as us. We are created in the image of God, so we're able to understand morality and we're able to understand justice and law because we're created to do these type of things. But in the atheist worldview, we'd have no reason to even understand these things or to even believe they were true. If you see two germs following each other, you're not going to come to the conclusion that they're friends or that they're looking out for each other. You're just going to say that they're just following they're just doing what they have to do. They just are. If you see two rocks sitting next to each other, you don't say that those two rocks are friends or that they have a relationship just because two rocks are sitting next to each other. If we are just matter and energy, if we're just overgrown germs, then there's no reason for us to truly believe that we have relationships or that there really is a good and bad. Things just are. So we would be just like these rocks or just like those germs. And we would have to say things like morality are just things that we made up in our head. They would be parts of our imagination. It would be a wild imagination that we're just imagining things. But this isn't the way we live our life. We live our life as if justice is real, morality is real, friendships are real. So this points us towards a spiritual realm because these things, these concepts of friendship, morality, these things aren't tangible things. They're not things that we can grab and touch. So, and this is also what God claims to be. He is spirit. He is not something that is tangible, something that we can grab. And so he has given us these concepts and the ability to conceptualize these type of things. It's because we come from a being that is non-material. This is why we have non-material realities like these. So, the atheists, they don't really have any kind of foundation for epistemology. They don't have any kind of sound foundation to know why they know things. They just simply think they know things, and they don't have any kind of foundation to stand on. And this is why we're told in 1 Timothy that there are a lot of opposing arguments that are falsely called knowledge. In order to have true knowledge, we need to first have a knowledge of God, knowledge of our Creator, where we came from. This is our foundation. The atheists now are just getting to real crazy and different theories, multiple universes and and fluctuating fields, and they have to just get real crazy, dark matter, and they have to make up so many different things, and these are rescuing devices because their worldview doesn't match with the reality that we see. So these rescuing devices further show us that in order to really know anything, we need to go back to the beginning. We need to go back to God. And once we leave God, we start really losing any kind of source of having any knowledge. Once again, 1 Timothy 6:20 tells us that we need to avoid empty chatter and the opposing arguments of what is falsely called knowledge. If you accept an atheist worldview, then everything you believe is a false knowledge, and everything you accept is going to eventually need some kind of rescue. And you know what? At the end, when it's time for us to be judged, you're going to need rescuing. And today, on this day, we need rescuing if you haven't placed your faith in Jesus Christ. He's the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through him. All of the treasures of knowledge are found in Jesus Christ. Starting here, you can actually begin to learn something, and you won't need any more rescuing. Something to think about.